The Hittites are usually remembered for their wars, their kings, and one of the earliest written treaties in history. Yet what truly held this empire together was not the sword, but the economic system they built long before it. While Mesopotamia was shaped by circulating money and powerful merchant classes, the Hittites deliberately chose a different path. In their world, the economy was not free. The economy was the state itself. To understand the Hittites is not merely to study an ancient civilization, but to witness one of the earliest and clearest examples of a state-directed economy. Geography was the first force that shaped this system. Anatolia lacked the vast and fertile river plains of Mesopotamia. Agricultural land was limited, the climate harsh, and rainfall unpredictable. Under such conditions, economic growth could not be left to chance. For the Hittites, the goal was not abundance, but continuity. Production had to be controlled, not trusted to nature. Agriculture, livestock, and storage were placed under strict supervision. The heart of the Hittite economy was not the market, but the state granary. Hittite kings stood at the very center of this system. Rulers such as Hattusili I, Mursili I, and later Hattusili III were not merely war leaders or treaty makers. They were the final authorities over production, distribution, and pricing. Clay tablets show that the king approved prices for key goods, standardized wages for workers and soldiers, and determined which resources were sent to temples, warehouses, or military units. The economy moved according to royal decision. One of the most critical pillars of this centralized system was water management. In a mountainous landscape, water was not simply valuable, it was essential. The Hittites constructed dam-like structures, reservoirs, and water channels, integrating agriculture into a planned infrastructure. These projects strengthened not only farming, but state power itself. Whoever controlled water controlled production, and whoever controlled production controlled society and the army. Economics and politics became inseparable. This water infrastructure reached its most advanced form during the reign of Hattusili III. Around the capital city of Hattusa, stone-built reservoirs and collection systems were designed to capture rain and snowmelt. Archaeological remains near Alakahoyuk reveal carefully planned water systems that went far beyond simple irrigation. Water was directed not only to fields, but to cities, storage facilities, and military centers. For the Hittites, water was more reliable than silver. Silver could be stored, but without water production collapsed. That is why water control preceded monetary control in the Hittite mindset. A successful king was not one who filled the treasury, but one who secured water in times of drought. As long as water flowed, fields produced, warehouses remained full, and armies stayed fed. The Hittites understood early that real economic power did not begin with money. Mineral resources formed another cornerstone of Hittite economic strength. Anatolia was rich in copper, silver, and iron, and the Hittites knew this well. Yet these resources were not left to private trade. Mining and distribution were tightly controlled by the state. Metals were not simply commodities, they were instruments of power. This policy became systematic under King Suppiluliuma I. Copper and silver mines were brought under royal authority. These metals did not circulate freely in markets, but were used in diplomacy. In relations with Egypt and Syria, the Hittite state exchanged metals for grain, luxury goods, and political leverage. Minerals did not primarily generate profit. They generated influence. Iron occupied a special position. The knowledge of ironworking was closely guarded and never fully commercialized. Iron weapons were not sold, they were reserved for the army. Economic resources were thus converted directly into military advantage. For Hittite rulers, True wealth was not silver, but superiority on the battlefield. Money did exist in the Hittite world, but only marginally. Silver functioned mainly as a unit of account rather than a circulating currency. Daily economic life relied heavily on barter and in-kind payments. This was a conscious choice. The Hittite state understood early that uncontrolled money circulation could destabilize the system. Money existed, but it remained invisible. Prices and wages were among the most striking features of the Hittite economy. Tablets record fixed prices for essential goods and standardized wages for specific professions. This was a deliberate attempt to eliminate uncertainty. Predictability replaced market fluctuation. Citizens knew what they would earn, and the state knew what it would spend. Trade existed, but under strict supervision. Strategic goods could not be freely exported. The state decided what left the empire and what remained within. Unlike the Assyrian free trade networks, the Hittite economy was cautious, defensive, and controlled. The army was the largest consumer of resources. Military campaigns demanded massive logistical support. Warehouses were stocked not only for famine, but for war. The economy served warfare, not the other way around. This brought strength, but also fragility. The Hittite system provided stability for centuries, but it lacked flexibility. When climate shifts, migrations, and external pressures intensified, adaptation became difficult. In a system where everything was controlled, room for rapid adjustment was limited. The Hittite Empire did not collapse because it was poor. It collapsed because it tried to control everything. Its system was powerful but rigid. And perhaps for the first time in history, the Hittites revealed a timeless lesson. Absolute economic order does not always mean absolute security.